am Heather Marzigliano, and I am the owner of Grace on Broadway and one of the founders of the Bells and Boats Tour, which our second stop in Georgia is coming up in literally like 1 month. So excited. These have come up so fast and I just can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I get to go to warmer weather. You guys get to meet us there. We're gonna learn some stuff. It's gonna be amazing. So what are we doing today? Today, I thought we would update this old mantle clock that has been sitting around my store forever. It's pretty, it's neat, it is older, it's a wind-up one, so hopefully we can even get it working once we make it pretty again. For all of you antique and vintage people, I promise, this morning, last week, 6 months ago, we looked it up. It's not some like amazing $5,000 piece. It is older, it is cool, but we are not hurting anything by making it pretty. I just felt like I needed to say that for any of the collectors out there. So what are we gonna do? I have 2 sizes of rope from WoodUBend. So it's the same pattern, but they're different sizes. So what I want to do is I want to run the smaller rope around here and then down here. And then I'm going to take the thicker rope and we're actually going to put it around the clock. So we're going to frame this in and we're going to frame this area in with WoodUBend. We're going to paint the entire thing with Sawmill gravy. I was thinking maybe either on the sides of it or along the front, something maybe we could get some striping in with Gold Digger. Then I thought also I have all these extra flowers from Rose and Rouge that I have some of my transfers that I keep because I cut them up. And so I have its in bits and pieces, but these are just big enough to kind of be pretty on the side of the clock. So I pulled some of those out. And I also pulled out, I have like little WoodUBend flowers. And I also have like a longer WoodUBend flower that maybe could go like on this bottom piece. So I pulled out a whole mess of stuff. I just got excited for this project and thought, this is what we're doing. So since I don't know 100% the direction or 100% how long each one's gonna take, we're just gonna get started, and it might be a 2-week project, but I think it's gonna be super fun. And I think that this type of project is so easy for all of you girls who might have this at your house, or if you sell smalls at your locations, this would be a great small that you would be able to get at, say, your local thrift store or flea markets, all that kind of stuff. You can usually find small clocks, and then you can make them awesome, and then they'd be cool and sell. So what we're going to do first is, this has already been cleaned, it's already ready to go. We're going to add our WoodUBend. Now, obviously, that's not going to work out, right? It's in a coil. So how we're going to do this is, I'm going to put this to the side quick. I have a electric kitchen griddle. This is a skillet. It is just a kitchen electric skillet. There's nothing special. It's a non-stick skillet. I have it on, my setting says 200, but it goes from 0 to just warm, and then 200 is my first temperature, which I think would be fine. Where is
your tongs?
Are
in your cart.
They are.
Right above, on the other side of the bucket.
Oh, I see them.
That has the brushes.
I have my magic cart that I'm sure some of you guys have seen. It has all my stuff. I got kitchen tongs. You don't need them, but when I'm going to be working with WoodUBend a lot and touching it a lot, I found it sometimes easier for me because I have super sensitive paws to just, I have to watch kitchen tongs. So So you're just gonna let it heat up. I do it here when I'm using bigger pieces or when I'm working over a long period of time because I can put all my pieces out and they warm up and they warm up evenly. Once they're warm, they're gonna do this, right? See how it's becoming pliable? It's not completely straight and pulling up, so it's not completely ready. I'm just gonna turn that up a smidge. I'm gonna get it out of our way. I also have my heat gun because we're gonna heat it up as well once we put it on. I get my cords out. I'll put the clock back. I have my wood glue. I have, just because it's open, I have Gorilla Glue here, but Titebond wood glue would also work. Any wood glue. That's the key, is you want a wood glue. Okay. So I have these like crappy rinky-dink art brushes that I get in a pack of like 50 for $1. I keep these around my store all the time because they're fantastic for little projects that I'll throw out if I want to when I'm done. I do try and wash them, but if they get extra gooey and they get extra shot, I'm not gonna cry. They cost me like 4 cents. So I use them for my WoodUBend wood glue on my piping, my roping, because it's small. So it's easier to get that bead of glue kind of spread out with a smaller brush. So I am hoping, oh it is. So now you can see that it's like rope. So we're going to wrap this around here. I'm just rewrapping this back up like this before it cools because I want to keep it this way. I think it keeps it better and safer. But while we were figuring all that out, this cooled down, so now it kept that shape, and that's not what we want, so I'm going to heat that back up. But we have our size, we have our shape. So I am going to take my wood glue and I'm going to put just a bead right around here. Okay, so now this is heated back up, so we can do like this. I have a bead of wood glue, and not only will it do this, but we can also do that. It's going to bend any way we want it to. I actually want to start this way though. I might have to get my heat gun out because as I'm working with it, it is cooling, but it's okay. Did you guys ever think that we would have appliques that you could work around the circle of a clock? Is this not the coolest thing ever? Heat gun time. So once you put your glue on, oh, that's okay. I'll show you guys how to fix that too. Once you put the glue on, regardless, you want to go back over it with heat. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow your wood glue to soak up into your WoodUBend. And what that does is it creates a really amazing chemical bond. These are the moments that my tongs are made for. But they're, oh, here they are. I'm also that girl that cries when I cut onions. And I cry at commercials. I think I'm just a sensitive human being. If my kids make me happy, I cry because they're cute. Everything either hurts me or makes me cry somehow. So, okay. How can I show you? I'm gonna try to get on like an angle because while we were working with it, the one piece got brittle because it cooled faster. And you guys saw it broke, so I just want you guys to see me fix it, but of course it's on like a weird angle. So I'm trying to negotiate this angle just a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding this piece where I want it, because it was starting to want to go that way. But it's hot, so it's still pliable. And now it's set.
Gwen would like to know if she could use a hairdryer.
You can!
To heat it up. Yep.
We used the hair dryer on one of our videos because my initial heat gun ended up accidentally heading to Georgia with Pam after the first show of Belle's and Belle, and so we didn't have a heat gun. So I asked Margaret to bring her blow dryer. Alright, so see, this is tough again. So instead of putting it on the griddle, I'm just going to heat it up with my heat gun. See, now it's pliable again. And you can repeat this process as many times as you need to. So as you're working, if it cools down, just heat it back up. If you're getting ready to do this and your phone rings, don't worry. It can cool down and you can reheat it. So now you just put the piece that ripped right there and you just continue right on. No big deal. And I gave myself a little extra room. So what I'm using to join them is literally my nail. You can use an X-Acto knife, you can use scissors. I'm using my nail. Okay, now I'm going to heat this whole thing up again. And it'll make it set. Okay. This is a new heat gun and I'm learning the settings, so I think low will actually work and not burn my fingers. Heat guns are hot, guys. And make sure, because I've done some classes where we brought our heat guns, and just like with anything, safety first, right? And there was girls that would use the heat gun, and girls, I mean women my age, I still consider myself a girl sometimes, right? If y'all want to think. And they would just put their heat gun down like this when they were done, or they set it on the floor. These get really hot. These are not blow dryers. So if you put it on the floor, it will burn your carpet. If you touch this, it will burn you. If you put it on a plastic tablecloth, it will completely melt it. You will eventually start a fire. So please, well, you will. You can.
I know.
I'm just being warning for people.
Keeping
that,
it real.
Yeah,
no, I get it. I do.
It is not
I know.
a hair dryer. I've just seen too many people in my classes treat these like hair dryers. Please, if you get a heat gun, they're an amazing tool, but they really should be put back down this way so that, and held from here. I just don't want to see you guys burn yourselves or your stuff because you're assuming that it's like a blow dryer. Okay, so we put this around, we used our glue, we heated it up, and now we have a fun rope around it. That's kind of pretty, right? I'm digging it. Super cute. So now we are going to add roping around here and here, but I'm going to use that like tiny baby roping because I think that'll be pretty for contrast, right? Because like that's bigger and like center. So I'm gonna, sorry, I try to do it where you guys can see it, but sometimes it's like backwards for me. So I'm just gonna run a teeny tiny bit of glue. This glue dries clear. And we can always kind of sand it back if we need to. So I'm gonna go right around where I'm gonna put it. It has been cooking on the electric griddle this whole time. So I believe I'm pretty safe in assuming that once we pick it up, it's gonna be good to go, which is why I'm laying the glue down first. Okay. Should work out. Oh yeah, this is like, look at that, how cool. We're just gonna set that right how we want it, going around all these curves. I mean, is this not the coolest thing? I've been redoing furniture and crafting for a long time, and I have to tell you, never in a million years did I think we were gonna have bendable appliques. It's not even something I thought to want. But now that we have it, it's pretty amazing. Now, these are wood, so you can paint them, sand them, stain them. You can distress them. You can put holes in them. You can drill them. You can do whatever you would do with wood. Works on these. So it cooled. So what we're gonna do is use our heat gun. We're gonna set this, what we just put on, and then I'll heat that up. And we'll do our last little bead. I'm gonna use low this time because I think it's sufficient. This is just like a cheapy gun, and I can tell it's already like whining at the motor. It's already mad after like 2 uses. Guys, usually I spend the extra money and I just get better products and better tools. This one I actually, because mine got left with the conference stuff, I grabbed the cheap one, and I already hear it whining after like a week of use. Which is why I usually just spend the extra couple bucks right away. And a better heat gun will have actual heat settings instead of low and high. And then you can set it to not burn your fingers. Okay. So that's good. Now let's heat up this little strip. We'll put that there. And I think it's coming out so cute already. And we didn't even touch it with paint yet. I'm gonna end up wanting to put this in my house.
It'll be on your mantle.
I think that's what's gonna happen. Well, the good thing is I don't have a mantle.
You'll find a home for it though.
Probably. We'll see. Sometimes I'm nice and keep the stuff at the store. This could be a fun workshop though. You see how fast it's melting? Not melting, but bending. Alright. But as you can see, I've been breaking them, cutting them, doing whatever I need to do just with my fingers, and it works.
And for Lauren, she wants to know that is wood glue that you're using. Yep,
just
right?
Regular old wood glue. I have Gorilla Glue right now, but Titebond would work as well, as long as it's a wood glue is the main thing. You're not going to use Elmer's glue. You're not going to use hot glue, none of that stuff. It does need to be a wood glue. And that's mostly because this process, it heats it up and it goes into, it soaks into the WoodUBend, and that creates a wicked tight mechanical bond to your piece.
And again, where can you buy the WoodUBend?
So you can buy them. I carry them. I do. And we're actually, I had a post, but we're going to be adding them to our website today, this afternoon, so that it's easier for you guys to buy. But you can also get them. There's Dixie Belle retailers. Certain ones carry them. Dixie Belle carries some pieces of it. And also on WoodUBend's website, they also have a find your local stockist too. So there's a couple different ways to find them. All right, and this is our trim work. Isn't that cute? So now that that's pretty much dry, what I want to do is I want to paint this in a base of, what do we pull out? We pulled out Sawmill gravy. But do we want to add any other WoodUBend first? We can add WoodUBend before you paint, or you can add WoodUBend after you paint. So just because we paint this doesn't mean we can't then go back and go, oh, you know, it would look great. Now we have Sawmill gravy by Dixie Belle. This is honestly, I think, my new favorite neutral. It's like a super pretty gray-white. So I am just gonna paint this with Sawmill gravy. I'm painting the body first just to give the front a little extra time to set. It's dry, it's good, but we have all this to paint too, so why not start with this and then go to that, right? not gonna leave the WoodUBend Sawmill gravy. I mean, for the most part, but maybe we'll use some gilding wax, like over top it, to help it jump out just a bit. We'll put some around like the rim of the clock and stuff like that. But it works because we'll make sure all of our metallics match. Right there, you can still see some of it, but I'm going to sand it and distress it. So I'm actually going to even let that alone because it's going to add for character later. And we'll clean up the glass. That's obviously not going to stay that way. We're going to get that cleaned up. So this is where we're at for today. And for this week, we did sawmill gravy, all of our WoodUBend rope. Next week, we are going to add some gold digger. We're going to add some flowers. And we might add some WoodUBend flowers. Like maybe these would be cute, painted either like in the blue or the pink or the gold, like either there or here or there.
Yeah.
Who knows? I got all different sizes of them. So next week we're gonna sand it, we're gonna distress it, we're gonna add some stuff, we're gonna keep going, and this clock is gonna be super, super fun and funky and totally not boring anymore. With that, have a fantastic day and thank you for watching. Bye.